Hello, my name is Jake Morales. This is my non-spoiler review of The Conjuring Last Rites. This is the latest horror film in the Conjuring universe, and I'm not gonna lie, this movie has people talking. We're about to find out, is it worth it, or is it overhyped? This movie was directed by Michael Chavez, which is the same director who directed the last Conjuring, which was The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, The Conjuring 2, or I should say actually, The Nun 2. He also directed the La Llorona movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been a fan of his films for certain reasons, and one of those is storytelling. I feel it's how he maybe writes the characters or just the flow of the movies. It just hasn't really worked for me. Another one of those things is his approach to how he directs horror and his horror elements. And I have to say, in this film, a lot of those horror elements are very prevalent. Let's start off with the cons. Michael Chavez is known for showing his demonic entities and ghost creatures majority throughout the film. But after the third or fourth time you see this demon or whatever he wants to show, it kind of loses that factor of it being scary. With that said, I'm the type of person who likes to have a slow burn approach to seeing a demonic creature. I like more sound effects. I like more shadows in the distance. That's what kind of gets me scared. And in his films, you just showing me a demonic entity just because you think it's scary over and over again, it loses that scare factor, that nightmare fuel, I should say. Another thing that I noticed that he did in this film was he basically had an approach of looking at James Wan horror elements and how he directed in Conjuring 1 and 2, and he decided to use those elements in this film, which is fine, but as an audience member, it left me confused a little bit. Was it more for nostalgic purposes, or was it like, hey, this worked for James Wan, so let's try it out? But unfortunately, it falls flat in my eyes. But that's because maybe it was done better. Maybe James Wan just had a better approach to it. But anyway, it just didn't work, unfortunately. Also, this film, the way he directs it, he focuses on two families in this film, and that's fine and dandy, but as an audience member too, I felt myself gravitating more towards one family just because it had more character development. I actually cared about what was going on with this family. On the second family, it just felt like they were shoot in. And when it comes to writing, I just felt like that's not a great way to approach it. But anyway, I feel like anything that happened with the second family, you just found yourself like you just didn't care. Anything that kind of happened with them, with the demonic entity, it was just like, hey, this happens, and then it goes on to the next family. There's really no approach to, well, what was the payoff to that? It kind of just leaves you kind of confused, and why was that even in that movie? It may sound like I'm shitting on this film, but I'm really not. I feel like there are some pros to this movie, and one of those pros is if you are a fan of Ed and Lorraine Warren and their love story, and you want to see them solve paranormal mysteries and kick some demonic tail, then you're gonna like this film. I feel like that is the highlight of the film. This really feels like the last chapter in their story. This movie has stakes for the Warren family. So would I rush out to see this film in theaters? Probably not. I'd probably just wait for it for streaming if I was you. Having said that, let me know in the comment section below. Would you rush out to see this film, or would you just wait for it for streaming? Let me know.